It was late morning, and I had already decided that coffee was necessary. Not as a treat. Not as a reward. Just as support. The kind of quiet support you ask for when the day has started but you have not fully joined it yet. The cafe was warm inside, with that familiar mix of low conversation, soft music, and the steady sound of cups being placed on counters. A few people were already settled in. One with a laptop. One with a newspaper. One staring into a mug as if waiting for life advice. I joined the line and looked up at the menu. It was one of those boards that somehow manages to be both simple and overwhelming. Espresso. Americano. Latte. Cappuccino. Flat white. Somewhere between the milk and the foam, my confidence became a little less reliable. Still, I had a plan. A small coffee. That was enough. No special milk. No syrup. No dramatic preferences. Just something hot and uncomplicated to carry me through the rest of the morning. When it was my turn, I stepped forward, ordered carefully, and felt that small private relief that comes when the first part of the interaction goes well. The barista nodded. Tapped the screen. Everything seemed fine. Then she looked up and asked, single or double? Quickly. Casually. Like a question she had already asked 100 times that day. And somehow, for one impossible second, my brain stepped away from coffee completely. Because what I heard was not a coffee question. Not a shot question. Not an espresso question. What I heard sounded strangely personal. Almost philosophical. Single or double? As if she had suddenly opened a door into some other conversation I had not agreed to have. I looked at her and honestly did not know what kind of answer this moment required. Single? Double? Was she asking how many coffees I wanted? How many people I was with? What kind of life choices had brought me here by 10:40 in the morning? So I did what people sometimes do when they are confused but still wish to appear functional. I smiled politely and gave the answer that felt safest, even though it explained nothing. Just me, I said. The barista paused. Not dramatically. Just enough for the whole sentence to become visible. Her hand stayed lightly on the register. Her face remained kind. But there was a tiny stillness there, the kind that arrives when two people are standing in different meanings. Then she asked again, slower this time. Single or double shot? Ah. There it was. The missing word. The one small word that had been carrying the entire situation and had somehow failed to reach me. Shot. Of course. Coffee. Espresso. Cafe language. Morning language. Not relationship status. Not identity. Not a quiet public survey of my personal life before caffeine. Just a very normal question about how strong I wanted the drink. I laughed then. A small laugh first, then a real one. Because once the misunderstanding appears in full light, it often becomes less embarrassing and more absurd. Oh, I said. Double. Definitely double. That made her smile. A real smile, easy and warm. The kind that says the moment can stay light. So I added, I thought you were asking something much more personal. And she laughed too, just enough to let the whole thing settle gently. Well, she said, still smiling, that would be a lot for before noon. And somehow that answer made everything better. Because now the mistake had somewhere soft to land. It no longer belonged only to me. It had become shared. I moved aside to wait for my coffee, still smiling a little to myself. Around me, the cafe stayed exactly as it had been before. Milk steamed. A chair moved. Someone opened the door and brought in a line of cool air. Nothing in the room suggested that anything important had happened. That helped. It always helps when the world remains calm. Because these moments can feel so bright from the inside. As if everyone must have noticed. As if your wrong answer is hanging in the air above the counter. But usually, it is only a brief pause, then life goes on. A few minutes later, she called my drink. I walked back, took the cup, and thanked her. This time, all the words fit the moment perfectly. No missing context. No accidental confession. Just coffee. Hot, simple, and stronger than usual. Outside, The air felt cooler against my face. I held the cup in both hands for a second before walking on. The whole exchange was already changing shape, becoming less like something awkward and more like one of those small stories the day had decided to give me. By the time I reached the corner, I was still smiling. The coffee was good. The street was quiet. And somewhere behind me, inside a warm cafe, single or double had returned to being exactly the kind of question it was always meant to be.